For the past few weeks, I have been building out this shower and bathroom in my self-converted Ford Transit van, and this week I finished the marble tile. I am so excited to show you guys the entire process, but I want to start at the very beginning before I even had my shower pan in. I'm officially working on the project that I have been most excited about, which is the shower and bathroom of my van. This shower is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm having marble tiles, an incinerating toilet, an entire bathroom sink, a medicine cabinet. It's going to be awesome, but I'm going to start with installing the shower pan, and to do this I needed to cut a hole in my subfloor. This is a 5.5 inch hole. That's the size of the diameter, and I had to actually cut this lip with the router so that the drain can fit in here. And the next step is cutting through the metal of the vehicle. This is going to allow me to put the HEPA valve in underneath my floor, and that's going to eliminate any smell or odor from the shower, so you're not smelling the gray water tank. Traditionally in houses, you typically use P-traps. That's what I had in my last van, and it makes a shape like this, but that takes up a lot of space. Before I even installed my shower pan, I needed to locate the drain. To do that, I went underneath the vehicle to see what open spaces I had, and I needed to make sure that I also had the space in order for the water from the shower to go to my gray water tank. I have a 20-gallon gray water tank off of Amazon, and that is mounted underneath my vehicle. So when I finished planning all of that, I thankfully found a shower pan that worked absolutely perfectly. I got it off of Wayfair. It seemed to be a very durable material, and I just used adhesive to put that down on the ground. I am building a medicine cabinet right now for my bathroom. I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be the perfect place to store all of my shampoo and conditioner bottles, skincare, everything like that. I didn't have this in my last van, so I'm really excited. The first step is to rip down some of these maple strips because I'm going to use this to assemble the shelving inside the medicine cabinet.
So nice in that shirt.
Hi, baby.
I told you.
Just don't leave me far behind. Take it on, just try to go when you can. Rip me up and tear me down.
I cut these two pieces, and this is what's going to enclose the exhaust piping for my Cinderella incinerating toilet. So all of this will not be usable space for the medicine cabinet, but on this side and on this side I will have space. So what I'm going to do right now is measure out how tall I want each of these shelving areas. I measured my shampoo and conditioner bottles, so I'm going to start with that. When I finished planning out the heights that I wanted, I went in and I started cutting those shelves. These were angled cuts because the wall that it butts up against is angled, so that added a layer of difficulty, but once I measured the angle, then I was able to cut that pretty easily. There's some things that just feel like they shouldn't be able to exist in a van, and a medicine cabinet is one of them. I don't know why.
Wow.
I feel like I can fit a decent amount on these shelves, huh?
Look, Kumi, look at her shelf.
I had to cut this side over here on an angle because this piece of wood is angled. This side also is on an angle, so there's two different angles. It looks absolutely perfect though. And then the concept is that this will go here to block off the chimney. Throughout this van build, I've been trying to make all of the shelves and storage compartments be different sizes and heights. I think that's really important when building a van because you want to make sure that you're equipped to store varying different things. So you don't want to make all your storage the same height or the same depth. Recently, I've been feeling a lot of heavy things about the climate, women's rights, and so many more things happening in the world right now. And sometimes I don't know what to do with my feelings and how to channel them in ways that will be productive. I've done activism, I've boycotted brands, and I've gone to protests, and all of that is so important, and we need to continue doing that. But if you're looking for an easy way to make a difference every single day, I want to introduce you to the brand Who Gives a Crap. You may be wondering, how can a sustainable toilet paper brand possibly make a difference in the world? And other than the fact that the rolls are plastic free and made of either recycled material or bamboo, this brand also has a mission to clean water and sanitation projects worldwide. So far, Who Gives a Crap has donated almost $13 million to clean water and sanitization projects, and they're on a mission to make sure that everybody has access to a toilet by 2030. And this is all because everyday people like you and me decided to make the swap to using Who Gives a Crap. And the best part is that it likely doesn't even cost you more than you're already spending on toilet paper, because these rolls are extra long. They're also super cute and colorful. I love having these in my bathroom, and they come straight to your doorstep, so you don't have to worry about going to the store. Please join me in making this swap to Who Gives a Crap. I genuinely love this brand so much, and I'm so proud to be working with them again. I also have a link so you can get $10 off your first subscription of Who Gives a Crap, so be sure to check the link in the description for that. And again, it doesn't cost you any more money. It's super cute, it's good for the environment. Why not make the switch? I started working on my headliner shelf. I traced a template. You guys probably saw that in my last video, but now it is time to get the headliner shelf up in this vehicle. I drilled a bunch of holes in some aluminum bar stock, and I'm going to be putting that up, and that is going to support the 1/2-inch plywood that composes my headliner shelf. Hopefully it will prevent any sagging so that I can put heavy items in there if I want to. I'm doing the headliner shelf now because I need to have that done before I can move on to the rest of the shower. I needed to build my front wall with the arch, not to install it permanently at this point because I will want to take it out so that I can work on everything else, but I just needed to have that laid out so that I could cut my ceiling. So to cut the arch, I use a jig that I got from Rockler, and that's what I used to do the circle part, and then I went ahead and continued downwards to cut the straight lines with the router and also the bottom, and I love the way it turned out. I think it looks so good with the tile as well. The next step for this van build was installing my ceiling. I decided to use wet wall for my ceiling as well. It's durable, it's easy to work with, and it is waterproof. But to do my ceiling, I actually needed to cut 3 different parts, and that's because within my ceiling, I have 2 tracks, and that is going to later be used to build my sliding wall, which will also have a sink on it, and it'll eventually separate and distinguish between the showering area and the toilet. My dad is helping me prototype the sliding door that I want for my bathroom, and this is what we have so far. I know it doesn't look like much now, but this is gonna have a sink on it, and I think it's gonna turn out great. These are the tracks that we got. It's a pretty smooth ride. We need to work out some of the kinks, but this is the concept. Before I did the ceiling, I actually spray painted those tracks white so they will blend in with everything, and then I cut the ceiling into 3 different pieces. cut 2 out of the 3 ceiling pieces. They've all been kind of funky angles. This is the 3rd piece. Now I'm just taking off the blue tape that I was using to make sure the adhesive didn't get everywhere, and it looks so good. The seams are so crisp. I love the material we went with, which is a wet wall material from Wilson Art. I'm just so happy with how it's turning out. I absolutely love it. There's gonna be a shower head here. We have lights in the center, tracks for a sliding wall to go on. This is actually Tori's shower head, so mine's going to be brushed gold, not nickel, but I wanted to fit it in and just confirm everything looks good and it all works, which it would be a disaster if this doesn't work at this point because there's adhesive everywhere. We already made sure that it does work, so that is so awesome. So that's gonna be the shower head, and I think it's at a pretty good angle too. Now it's officially time to waterproof my back wall. All the other walls have wet wall in it, so that in of itself makes it waterproof. I also will have sealant around all of the edges, obviously, but this back wall just has furring strips as of this point, so I need something to make it waterproof. And since I'm putting tile on it, I didn't want to use the same wet wall material because it is not good for tile. So instead I use a material called Tile Ready. Today I'm going to cut the Tile Ready for the back wall. This is the wall that also has the niche, so I'm cutting around for both the niche and the shower pan. I decided to use Tile Ready instead of Curdy board, which is often used in van builds, because it's very durable, and I've seen a lot of professional tile installers say that Curdy board is more prone to leaking, especially if you don't have a lot of experience doing it, which I don't. And Tile Ready is just a more leak-proof option. It's more durable, it's still lightweight and still very easy to work with, and you can just tile right on top of it. You don't need Red Guard, and you don't really need to do much else except to put the wall up and put the sealant on all of the lap joints and the screws. So I would say this was a pretty easy option, and this is hopefully going to last for years to come. So I'm really excited that I went with this, even though it was a little more expensive than Curdy board would be. The one mistake I made with the Tile Ready is just putting way too many screws. I don't know why in my head I thought the more screws the better, because I figured I was having some heavy tile marble on it, and so I put a lot of screws, and then I realized with all of those screws is a potential leak point. I did put sealant on it, and I double, triple checked that everything is sealed, but if I were doing it again, I would put less screws because I really did not need as many as I put. The next thing I did was cut another piece of wet wall, and I'm using this for the bottom back part of the toilet. I wanted to have this done before I tiled it, so I just used the adhesive and put it together the same way I've been putting the wet wall on all the other walls. At this point, it was just a lot of preparation for the tile. I am gearing up to tile everything either tonight or tomorrow, but it's an 100-degree day, very hot. I am going to first start by cutting this wet wall. Yesterday, I did all the Tile Ready on my back wall, which is what I'm going to put the tile on top of, and I also added one of the wet walls. But before I tile, I need to add one more piece of wet wall.
Won't you care for me? I'll wait up every night. I could climb a tree so I can see through the sky. That's why I looked in your eyes, even though I was scared. I would love you the best. You bring me back to rest. Conversation stations really
Also laid out the tile. And I went back and forth a million times trying to figure out exactly the layout I wanted with this tile. Because it's a pattern, there were so many different options. And I decided that I wanted the focus point to be the niche that you see when you first look in. But at the same time, I didn't want there to be any random, weird, super thin cuts. So I had to really mess around with the layout of the tiles to make sure everything was balanced. On the top and on the bottom, I did have to cut off a little bit, and around the niche, I had to cut some as well. But I tried to make sure that my cuts were very equal to one another. I chose this nice pattern tile, so it alternates colors and also shapes, and that's something I'm keeping in mind as I come through and work around all of this. And I'm also using these spacers. These ones have 4 corners, so that's good in between. But I also have half dome spacers, and intermittently I'm coming through to check that everything's level. And it's looking really good. I'm actually having so much fun seeing this come to life. Last night I finished the tile in the van, and I am so happy with how it turned out. It's like better than I could have ever imagined, but I want to see the full effect because obviously there's a bunch of tape all over everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off all the spacers, take off all the tape, and give it a wipe down. This was my very first time ever doing tile. I've actually never built a bathroom or a shower in general, and I actually really liked the process. It was kind of stressful because there was a thunderstorm and it kept on and off raining, and the saw was actually set up outside, so every single time it started raining we had to kind of pause operations. And obviously this is a time-sensitive project. You only have 3 hours to put all the mortar on once you've mixed it. We actually had to do 2 rounds of mortar because the thunderstorm interrupted things. We might have been able to do this if the thunderstorm wasn't holding us up in just 1 round of mortar, but it ended up being a whole day project. I am so happy with how the tile turned out. I've been dreaming of a bold patterned tile for so long, but seeing it in person in my van, it just looks so much better than I could have ever imagined. And I'm so excited to see this bathroom continue to take shape. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to support my channel, be sure to like and subscribe, because up next, I will be installing my Cinderella incinerating toilet. I will be installing a sliding wall in the bathroom and permanently adding this front wall with the arch, doing all the finishing touches, and obviously I still have a lot to do on the rest of my van as well. So stay tuned for all of that, and as usual, thank you guys so much for your support. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!